The whole situation with Jeff Bezos. I don't know why. Like, I see a lot, and I see some people, I see some of our friends on the right. You all know that you see him too. I see people getting mad at him because he's rich, and I'm like, I don't care that he's rich. I mean, I think the guy's a stooge for his political opinions, but I don't begrudge him his money. All the stuff that Elizabeth Warren is talking about here, these are legal things to do. Legal things that she and other Democrats and some rhinos, everybody else protected. Just get rid of, first off, let's just establish this. Taxation is theft. The government stealing people's income is theft. Property tax is theft. Property tax means you don't get to own your own property ever. You never actually really own your own home. You never actually really own your own property. Now, I myself prefer a graduated consumption tax, graduated based on levels of income. That way, everyone is in the system regardless. And that can go towards your roads and all that other, your Article 1, Section 8 stuff that's relegated to the states. Have it go to that. But income tax is theft. It's a Marxist principle that was only ever supposed to be temporary, and it wasn't. You can blame Woodrow Wilson and FDR. And property tax, you don't even ever get to own your own property taxes. I also don't think that any property taxes, if you're doing a graduated consumption tax, I don't think that people should be forced to even, honestly, I think all public schools, everything needs to be treated as, I'm told you, I'm pretty like hardcore. I get capital L with this stuff. People should just treat it as private school. Let people have their own money to send their kids to school, right? I couldn't believe that a lot of public schools, they spend per student more than what people pay for private school. In Ohio, they spend like per student, they spend, because my kids they were homeschooled and they went to a private, they're still at a private school. But I think anywhere from like $5,000 to $6,000 more than what I was even paying for private school. And I had an event in Ohio where I was speaking, and I almost fell off my chair right at the table in the middle of the whole thing because I could not believe what I had just heard. And then I was like, I got to go look this up. And I was in there at this, this ballroom. It was this fundraiser thing. And I'm like looking at my phone, and I actually looked up the statistics on what Ohio public schools pay per student, what they cost per student. That's unbelievable. You should have little Einsteins, geniuses, right? Everything should be solved as much as we spent. It's like, where's that money going? Where's it going? So my point is that Elizabeth Warren, she's got it. She's rich herself. Notice how none of this ever applies to this woman. She thinks that you should be punished just for being rich. I love the fact that someone can create something for nothing. Was Elizabeth Warren, Kane, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that she was in Jeff Bezos' parents' garage when he started this business.
Nope. She just wants to inject herself in his life now.
These communists are making me defend people I don't like. I'm not a fan of his. I'm not going to begrudge someone their wealth just because I dislike them, their political positions. That isn't. It means that the great American dream is still possible for people. What is it? There was this Hunter S. Thompson quote that said, "It looks as though you're not beholden to the to the rat race entirely," something like that, because you still have people who can go out and think outside the box and can make something of themselves in those different ways. So I don't begrudge him his wealth. What gets me is when people act astonished that wealthy people are going to use completely legal tax structures to prevent the government from stealing more of their money. I just have zero tolerance for greedy people who want everyone else's money. I absolutely will call it that. It's greed. If it's greedy to demand a right to money you didn't earn. That's greed. No, it's greedy that they want to keep it. No, it's greedy that you want it. You didn't earn it. Look, everything that I have in life, I worked hard for. I told you this before, raised by a single mother. And then she married my stepdad, but we grew up completely poor in rural Missouri. And everything that I had, if we didn't have no family money to send me to college, I had to work for it. Everything I've had to work for. So I get it that right now we're trying to condition people in this society to be ashamed of success. Hell no. Be Dagny Taggart about this stuff. Celebrate success. Celebrate other people's success. Recognize that when someone else is successful, that means it's still possible for you to be successful too. And then Elizabeth Warren out there. This woman has never done anything to save anyone ever money, any money. She's never done anything to multiply wealth except get into government and multiply it for herself.
The two beliefs that make me laugh the most are A, that the rich don't pay their fair share, and B, somehow, actually, hold on, what was it? Actually, I forgot what the other one was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that management of money, that government somehow is the best managers of money. That makes me laugh. They don't manage our money well. We're not undertaxed. They overspend.
Exactly. She says, under my plan, this is her tweet. Under my plan, Jeff Bezos would pay $5.4 billion wealth tax of his estimated net worth of $181 billion. He could still pay for his space missions and super yachts if that's where he gets his kicks. But as a nation, we could invest in our people, including universal child care. That's not a nation's responsibility at all. And I also don't believe in funding universal child care. And I know that some conservatives are trying to sell me on this quasi-Marxist idea of, well, it's pro-family. It's also pro-Karl Marx. So stop. It's a Marxist principle that you're trying to wrap up in this wrapping paper of conservatism, and you're failing horribly. You fake rhino. Get out.